Hey guys, what's going on? Here's Jedi Jester back with another tutorial, and today we're going to take a look at the Trovins. Trovins seems to be an easy topic, but it's not, because sometimes you face heavy pressure and you can't go for the proper Trovin, or even if you don't think like, okay, this is just a simple Trovin, then you can actually create some stuff out of Trovins. And today I'm going to show you a special tactic that I discovered while I was messing around with the Trovins. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. So basically what you can do with the Trovins is that you can just direct your left analog stick, like point out somewhere, and then try to pass the ball with your X button. That's the simplest way to use a Trovin. Or you can go for the long throw-in by pointing out the direction with your player again, and then using this square button, the long pass button, or sometimes it's just a circle button for certain players, but then by default it's the circle button. Or you can just fake a throw-in by going for a fake shot, which I do here, which I wanted to show you. Here you see I press the square and then the X buttons combined, and then we go for the fake shot or the fake throw-in like this. So this is something you can use while you're using the throw-ins, but then most of the times the defenders whenever you're playing against the online players, they're gonna defend the throw-ins like no other thing does. So there is one mechanic that you should use to be able to get the most out of it. Here's again the version of the long throw, which you perform by the square button. But then, like I've said, this is not going to work out in most of the situations. Here, as you see, the opponent has already selected his defender, and like in this deep down the wing, you won't be having too many opportunities. So you're gonna have to create a position for yourself by using the player lock. Normally we like the player lock is an advanced skill move or a mechanic that we use by like we activate by using the R3 button. But with the throw-ins, you can just use the right analog stick to be able to select specific players. What happens then? For example, let's say this is the center of your right analog stick, this player, the throw-in guy. And if you push the right analog stick towards this area, towards this player, then you will be selecting this guy. What does that mean? You will be able to move him freely around here, whatever you want. And let's say you got here, you take him, you got here, you press the X button, the throw-in will be sent to him by the AI. The important thing is that you get rid of this defender. Like, it sounds easy, but sometimes it's complicated. You just need to press the right analog stick towards this direction. You see here, just right here, we press it towards the upper side like this, and we got this player. And then we press it once more towards here, then we go for this guy. So you can actually switch between players like you do with normal player switch, and like you do that in your defense, and you can actually do it with the throw-ins as well. You see, consistently switching between players is going to confuse the opponent, and you're going to be able to use the throw-in, because sometimes they just defend the guy here over here, and if you switch to this guy, move him a bit towards here, then the opponent has to cover this area. By then you can switch back to him and then take him towards the free space. It's all about the distraction you give to the opponent, and if you can distract the opponent by switching between your players while you're going for the throw-in, that is going to work out for you, because like I've said, even most of the times the players defend throw-ins like no other player does. So once more again, you're going to see the example of how I use the right stick switching here. Here we push the right stick towards here to be able to select this guy. Then we're going to push the right stick towards this space, and here you see we just made a movement like this before getting towards this guy, and we made that switch as well. So again, just do a right stick switch while you have the throw-in, and you're going to be able to switch between your players, and then you use the X button and you can actually send the ball towards the direction you actually want, or you can move the player to the place that you want him to be in. So how do we use this? This is the most important part. I basically use this mechanic straight after the throw in. You see the ball went out here. Let's get back a bit towards the back here. The ball goes out, and right after the animation here, you see we skip the scene, and right here I see my striker here. This is very important. Listen or watch really carefully. This is the moment where the players become the most vulnerable. So what I do here, I intend to switch to my striker who is in the box, who can actually go like this. So what happens here? You see, I just pushed the right analog stick towards here so that I instantly switched to my striker. Most of the defenders think, okay, this is the place that this guy is going to play, so I have to take this guy and defend here or around here, always this side. But then if you intend to switch to a striker and get him into this space, they won't be able to cover it because they won't be expecting it. Like, you have to do this so fast. Like the player lock or let's say player switch with the throw in is like, this is why it's so dangerous and important. You see, we take him here. The opponent didn't realize it, or he wasn't able to switch back to the defender he wanted to, but then it was the other one, which was not the correct one. And we were able to pass the ball just with the X here. We passed the ball here. He switches, but then just because he panics, just because he was late, he didn't expect us to turn around, and we were able to score an easy goal. So, like, make sure just right after the throw in, make sure you switch to your striker who's in the box, or a player or winger. I don't know. It's just someone inside the box. And just because they're so static, just because the defensive players are so static, then you can actually make or get the most out of it. So I thought, okay, I realized that these defenders are so static, while you see, they're just stop. They just stop and they're just watching. So I thought, okay, maybe if I can create a movement in behind the defensive line, that could work out. But how do I do that? I told myself, okay, maybe if I get my striker backwards, like he was here, I get him back with the player switch or player lock, and then make him go a bit towards here, and then take another player here. And while he's running forward, I pass it to this guy. And then with the one-touch pass, I send the ball towards the running lane of my original player. So how do I do that? Let's see. I just, this idea came to my mind, and I didn't know if it was going to work. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But definitely this is something you can work on. And I'm still working on it. And it sometimes pays off. Sometimes it creates a direct goal scoring opportunity. Sometimes it creates a massive opening in the wing, but it does work. So here, you see, I put my player towards one of the spots, because if I put him here and get this guy here, and then while the ball is traveling towards here, if I use the L1 button and push this guy towards here, then you see there's this opening. He would be running, and I can send the ball. This position is something it's a bit of funny, this position, because you're going to see that. You see, I exactly do that. And while the ball is traveling, while it's in the air, I point out the player here and press the L1 button, and he's going to start running. So that was my intention as well. So while you're using while the ball is in the air after the throw in, make sure you point out the player you want to run with. And then press the L1 button. Just tap the L1 button. This is going to make him run. And here, you see, he starts running. And I thought, okay, he's running here. And I got myself into great passing position because he was running. But then I powered it up and ended up with the wrong player. But it was eventually a goal. So this is one of the examples that shows you, all right, when you're using the throw-ins, the opposition defense is very, very static. So you're going to have to make sure you create a movement right afterwards, and then just go for a long ball before getting into offside. So this is how you do it. For example, I did that against AI. This is one of my tries against the AI, experimenting here. I get Salah here. I want to run with him. I want him to end the position with the goal. So what I do here, I take him back here, a bit towards the back, and then you see, just like I drag the AI player as well with myself, and then I switch to this player with the right analog stick here, and he starts going forward to his original position. And while the ball is in the air, there's a brief moment, you see I send the ball here, and while the ball, like right after the throw in, I point out the player here with the left analog stick and then press the L1 button. So what happens here? Salah starts running, and with the one touch pass, like he's not an outside, and with the one touch pass, in this case the lifted through ball, I get the ball to him and he gets into the box. So this is my intention. This was my purpose with this special mechanic, and I try it a lot against the opponents. So here again, we take Ginola, we take him a bit towards the back, we get him into the position. So here, if I get him into this position, then he will have some time to run into the space, even though the inside is covered. That doesn't matter because the defense is static, and I will lift the ball above the defense. So it's going to have to work. So what happens here? I take Ginola back and then switch to Douglas here, I think. Yeah, I switch to Douglas here. And right when the ball is traveling, I point out him. Like it's not visible here right now. I point out Ginola with the left analog stick and then press the L1 button. What happens? He runs in behind the defensive line and the ball goes through. So this was the intention, and it highly works. So make sure you use this tactic whenever you get a throw in. Like, it's not an easy one. I must admit, it requires a lot of practice, but it can create a position directly in the box, or as an example, in the wing. So what I do here, I take Martinelli here, I push him back like this, like just because I took Martinelli here, like the defender pushed himself as well, and the AI player came here as well. So this player got free, and just because the right wing back pushed out of his position, out of the defensive line, this is wide open. So what I do here, I pass the ball here, I switch to Yaya Toure here, and then in the meanwhile I press the L1 button. You see here, let's see that once more. Here, there I press the L1 button and he starts running, and then just because he was more in the moment than the right wing back here, he got himself the ball and then he went straight into the box. So this is something you need to try out, and like you are not going to score a lot from this. Like this is not going to, this is very situational. You're not gonna use like 20 throw-ins in a single game, but as you can see, sometimes this extra movement, this extra tactic, or using the player lock or player switching with the throw-in is going to give you an extra goal. So that is why I wanted to give you those both tactics with this tutorial, and hopefully it will help you within the hardest matches, because sometimes this kind of throw-ins help me a lot with my difficult games. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Until next one, take care and peace.